How are you?
Or do you have a chance to rest at all? Or is it calmed down a little bit?
It is starting to slow down finally, but
The storm starts pretty soon, doesn't it?
well, our season officially kicks off May 15th, so I have a few days.
So in the intervening time, are you doing anything else, or are you just trying to have some rest?
Yeah, I mean, I'm doing some marketing for Mid-South Rehab Services, physical therapy, great company to be with. And, juggling two kids that are dominating in the baseball world right now for Meridian and Northwest Rankin High School.
By the way, we got some stats last week. The full-time mom equates to a salary, what was it, Perez? $178,000 if a
something in that
$178,000 during the pandemic. So, University of Mobile will award the Doctor of Human Letters to Sarah Bailey Thomas, a UM graduate who shattered glass ceilings and became the first female official to work on Super Bowl earlier this year. Well, that's done.
It's done.
So you are now officially doctor?
Yeah. I was wondering why you didn't say Dr. Thomas was in the house.
Well, we did say that earlier, but, we usually we try to get that okay from the person, first of all. I don't want to put you ill at ease. There are so many things we want to talk about. In 2015, became the first full-time female official of the NFL. That was September 13th, 2015, between the Kansas City and Houston in the NFL. Your hat, your whistle, and your flag now is no longer in your possession. Where is it?
Yeah, in the Hall of Fame, and that was from that my rookie game, my first game, and they now have my Super Bowl jersey. And yeah.
Do you get a chance to keep some mementos?
I do.
From the game itself? Not so much a game ball or something, but you can do that?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Do you have a collection?
I do. I don't have it all necessarily displayed, but I do have a collection.
Off the field, marketing specialist for Mid-South Rehab, a national spokesman from Kepler Speakers Bureau, and skincare consultants from Rodan and Fields. So you do stay busy.
I do stay busy.
You, I was just wondering, are there any restrictions in the NFL that you have when you first started that they've kind of backed down now, that they don't have any more? It's basically the same thing?
It's the same thing.
Do you ever think when you were doing this as a child that you would break so many glass ceilings and not get in trouble with your parents?
I would absolutely not believe that this would be happening. I stayed in trouble with my parents growing up, but I'm glad my parents are still living and they see that I turned out all right.
You wear number 53.
Correct.
Is there anything about that at all?
There's nothing. Yeah, whenever I got into the developmental program, they gave me 153.
Yeah.
And so then when I got hired, they sent out a list and you could pick and choose. My boys wanted me to choose number 2. That was their uniform, their baseball uniform number. And number 2 had already been taken, so I just said, look, take the one off of 153 and give me 53.
So it wasn't the one in high school or college?
No, it wasn't my jersey. Yeah.
You where are we now as far? Because I saw a story not too long ago of somebody else coming in. I think it was an African-American lady who is now moving through there. What's the status of that?
Yeah, they hired Maya Shaka this year. That's right.
So
I think March.
Her first year will be next year? Or
this year,
this year,
2021. Yes, sir.
And she came out through the same route?
She did. She was in Conference USA for quite a few years, and then the Pac-12, and she's been in the developmental program.
How many are there now? About 5 or 6?
As far
moving through,
there's a handful.
So in 2 or 3 years, there could be numerous.
We'll see. That's above my pay grade, Paul.
You've been in the NFL now since 2015?
Yeah, it's crazy. I just finished my 6th season.
That is amazing.
Do you remember when Dr. Joe Haynes and I were sitting here?
Do.
That's crazy. That's been quite.
And Joe had a story of his own, and I was so sad when I found out he passed away.
I know.
But he had come in a little bit earlier to do the book and the book that he had written, and what an incredible guy.
Yes. If it weren't for Dr. Joe Haynes, I don't know where Sarah Thomas would be.
But again, he broke some glass ceilings himself.
He did. He sure did. Was
he one of the first or the first?
I want to say he was the first.
I think he was the first African-American
That's right.
the NFL. And what he went through was amazing.
I believe he was the first African-American in the SEC, too. I'm not sure about the NFL, but I do know about the SEC.
And let us not forget he's from Mississippi.
Absolutely.
So,
and he is a doctor.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. Do you have in the back of your mind how long you're going to do this, or is it just one of those open things you don't think about? I
really don't think about it, Paul. I just know that some of the guys are there in their mid-60s out there running around. I don't know what it would look like for a 60-something-year-old woman running around out there. I mean, if I'm healthy and I'm good and my mind's still there, why not?
Since women usually live longer than men, she could probably do it to about 84, 85.
If she can run.
Yeah. Well, that's it.
And the other thing,
I don't know about that, Perez.
If she can get out of the way of 300-pound guys who are really fast.
My only experience, and most people don't have this experience, my only experience is once we went to Jerry Jones, the game between the Giants to watch Eli and the Cowboys. So we got a chance to go down on the field, and you stand there during pregame, and you watch some of these guys coming by. And I mean, these are dinosaurs. I mean, these are big guys.
They're big, and look,
they're moving fast.
Perez, I couldn't do it 4 years ago when I got hit in Green Bay, and I have a nice plate with 7 screws. So I don't think I could be.
Is that common knowledge?
Dang.
Yeah, you know what, Paul? The funny story is it was a bombing 29 degrees at Green Bay, and it was the Vikings and the Packers, and it was really a lopsided game late in the fourth quarter, and I decided that I would get in the way of 2 players, not just one, and I broke my wrist. But I knew when I looked up at the clock in the trainer's room, and I said, "Look, there's more time left in this game. I'm going back in this game. Put that splint on." So they put the splint on. I go in. All right, yes, it's a broken wrist. My kids are like, "Mom, are you okay?" And I said, "Yeah." And do you know what they said to me? They said, "Mom, well, you do know that you got run over by Rudolph on Christmas Eve because it was Kyle Rudolph and it was Christmas Eve."
You can't make that up.
No.
There's a line judge, field judge, side judge, back judge, down judge, umpire, referee. How in the world go through that? How are you selected for that particular job?
Well, when I started in high school, they stuck me at line judge, and it really line judge, down judge, formerly known as head linesman. Mm-hmm. That's where all the responsibility is. I mean, we have it all. We kid with our deep wings, and sorry, guys, if you're listening to me and ladies, but we pick at them and say, hey, you've only got one guy to look at and watch. But really, they have 2. They have the receiver and the defender. Yep. But the white hat, he's a crew chief, umpire, usually the guys that played linebacker in some form, fashion of football, and we can't forget our replay guys either. I mean, they're a part of the crew, too.
But are you assigned for the whole year or just game for game?
Nope, I will stay on the line of scrimmage as long as they'll allow me to be there. Yep.
You stay with the same crews year after year, or at least all season? Yeah,
typically you do, Paul. You stay with one crew, and I love it that way because the chemistry off the field bleeds on the field. But they do bounce us around occasionally. Just depends. Of course, last season, 2020 was kind of.
I want to ask you about that. How different was it? Because you've been in the league now since 2015, so you know what normal feels like.
Right.
So how much out of bounds was last year? What did you guys have to do differently?
Yeah, of course, testing was crazy every week. Once we got to the game site, we'd have to be tested as well. But the biggest change I felt was not the camaraderie. Our pre-games were over Zoom. We weren't able to eat dinner together, that sort of thing. But as far as the field, Paul, a lot of people ask me about not having the fans there.
I want you to speak to that when you come back. It had to be a little bit eerie.
It was.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
When we come back with Sarah Thomas. All right, back with Sarah Thomas, NFL official and homegirl from Pascagoula, Mississippi, and then now Brandon.
That's right. Brandon, Northwest Rankin Cougars.
Continue the conversation we were having.
Yeah, so we were talking about the fans not being there. Yeah. And the first game of last season, I really didn't realize they weren't there. They're pumping in crowd noise, of course, until halftime. We're going into the locker room, and I go, well, this is odd. There's nobody booing us or throwing things at us as we're going into the locker room. The eerie places were when there was no crowd noise being pumped in or during a timeout where it was completely silent. That was a little eerie. But we're so focused, Paul, when we're out there.
Yeah. You think the players are the same way, though? I mean, you go and do you score a touchdown, and you just that's so much a part of it.
I don't know. I didn't notice that it would affect them or not out there. I don't know if the fans at home thought it was a little different, and they're probably the same. I mean, they're just out there competing.
We always hear college players moving up to the pros, and they talk about it's all about the speed. You got to get used to the speed. Is that something that you've kind of felt the same way now that you've got a few years under your belt?
It's crazy. Yeah, the game has slowed down.
It has slowed down.
Yeah, it has.
For
it has.
Even the officials.
That's right. It sure does.
Which has got to be good for you.
It is a blessing, for sure.
That's one of the things you're going to take to the training video with the new people coming in, especially the young lady you said coming in. Yeah. Sure.
All of us that came in. Yep.
Expect it to slow down.
It will.
Nobody's probably ever asked you this, but just like baseball players or football players, they have to pay their tax if, let's say, they're playing in New York.
Yeah.
Do you do the same thing?
Yes.
So you got to give Uncle Sam in New York.
Yep, I sure do.
See,
this is why I won't do politics, Perez.
This seems to be a sore spot, but you have to cut the check for them before you leave.
That's right.
That's amazing. You got a book that you're going to be working on?
Not yet, Paul. But
you're compiling it, though?
We'll see, yeah. Lots of journaling.
It's got to be somebody out there, and even just knocking on the door saying, I want to do a documentary or a film.
Yeah, there's some things in the work with that, which is really exciting. NFL Films is, it's been a lot of fun. Matter of fact, they were with us not too long ago and went to Brady's out at the Northwest Rankin, and somebody came up to me and they said, "Are you doing a reality TV show?" And I said, "There is no way in this world I would ever do that, Paul."
No, don't do that.
No.
Don't do that. So would it be a documentary where you play you, or would it be a movie
it's
or
me.
something?
It's me.
I don't know. The kids coming up today and I was watching some film of your son.
Yeah.
They are amazing. Tell me a little bit about it. And he got the Player of the Week award.
Yeah, that Bridley at Meridian Community College. Oh, he's having fun. I mean, it's just fun to watch. They're in the playoffs. They start Monday at Pearl River, I believe, Community College.
You got a chance to go most of the games now?
Oh yeah, I try to make all of them. And then his brother Brady is catching at Northwest Rankin, and he's 6'6" catcher. Perez, have you ever?
He is 6'6"?
6'6". Swings left.
Bridley is what?
Bridley's 6 foot, middle infielder. Yeah.
Wow, that's
how does the umpire see the ball?
I was going to say 6'6". You're in the chest area now as far as the strike zone.
Yeah, how does the umpire know it's a strike?
Brady lets him know real quick.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do they have aspirations of taking it to the next level?
Sure they do.
They got some scholarships coming?
Hopefully so. I just tell them and I had to learn this in the officiating world, don't get too far ahead of yourself. Love where you are right now. Make the best of it, and the rest will fall in place.
Let's talk about the schedule before we're running out of time here. Let's talk about the schedule, what happens next as far as we are in the 11th of May, and the schedule for you now is back to training camp, or where do you go?
We hope. I don't know.
Well, they haven't decided yet, huh?
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to go to the OTAs. I'm not sure. That's still kind of up in the air. I know we're going to do our mini clinic virtually, which is, I guess, 2 weekends away. Mm-hmm. We'll see about our big clinic. Not sure about preseason. Who knows?
The game has they've extended the regular season games?
That's right.
Tell me about the changes.
Well, I know that we're going to have, 3 preseason if we have preseason, right. 17 regular season.
Not a lot of people happy about that, are they?
I just go out there and work, right, Perez? There's some changes in the rules, but I just wait until I get that official memo, and we get that on Monday.
So you have your schedule yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. You'll get that, and it's set in stone for the whole year.
No. In July we'll get our preseason, and then preseason week 1 we get week 1, regular season week 1. That's how it works.
Who does your travel arrangements?
We have an agency there.
Everybody takes care of that? Hotels and everything else?
Yep. That's right.
First class?
Yes, sir. It's the NFL.
It has been an amazing... Oh, by the way, are there any new changes that you have to, get used to as far as some of the rules and regulations?
Yeah, there's a few. There always are new...
What are they?
One that I know is going to highly affect me is the line of scrimmage as far as forward pass. If you make, 2 forward passes, that's a problem. And used to, if it was the second one was from behind the line of scrimmage, there wasn't a loss of down with it. But this year, they're going to implement loss of down, which I think is good.
And they'll work these out during preseason.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
What have you enjoyed most about this last year?
You know what, Paul? I think what I enjoyed most, just looking back and reflecting on it, is 2020 was awful. But just seeing the perseverance that we as a country have, and especially Mississippians, and just pulling together and somehow managing to take positive out of all the negative.
It has been one of the great things to have you there for an ambassador for our state, too, because a lot of people, when they hear this Mississippi, you don't look like you would fit the mold of a person in Mississippi, and or women into sports there. They have no idea what goes on here.
I tell there's people that say, "Are you ever going to move from there?" And I tell them, "Nope, you need to move to Mississippi because it is absolutely beautiful, historic, and it's great people."
And then they look at you like you're crazy.
Yes, exactly. But it's true.
Well, what's next after? So when it's over, it's just take some time, or what?
Yeah, Paul, I don't know.
It's over.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Okay.
It's over. It's over.
Yeah,
well,
Yogi
not
said
to bear
that.
Brian over. We're talking about what's next.
No, I'm talking about when it's over, it's over.
Well,
You know what, Paul? Maybe if it's over when it's over, my kids at that point, maybe married, have some kids, and I can just enjoy writing a few books and begin.
or get into officiating basketball.
No,
she can't
tried
run up and down a basketball court.
Well, you just don't want to retire too early. So I'm gonna we want her there as long as we possibly can get.
maybe I could just run the clock like I did when I started.
I think she'd be good as a talk show host here.
I could do that.
Anytime, yeah. And
Are you going to retire? Can I move into this?
Any day now. You never know. So you got to be on the standby for that one. So, all right. Look, I thank you. It was a pleasure. We are going to follow you because now we know where she is at all given points because the ponytail is out.
That's exactly right.
You were asked this by a couple of other people. I asked you the last time you were here, but I think some other people have asked you that.
Oh, yeah, they have. And
Some
it
of the
feels a
interviews.
lot more natural having it in the ponytail.
I think so. The interviews that you've done, how many this year?
Oh, I have no idea, Paul. Maybe
It is
about
a-
150. I don't know. It's been
Thank
nuts.
God for Zoom because you can do a lot from
A
the house.
lot.
Yeah.
But then I crammed too much in, and it's like, oh, I need a break.
But if you had a chance, they probably would pay for your travel and head to most of these places.
Sure, but I am here to tell you I'm thankful for it because I can do all of those and still make it to my kids' baseball games. It's great.
Some you enjoy more than others.
No, I appreciate all of them, Paul. I
You
mean,
do a
they're
great
all
job.
a blessing. Well,
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate that.
You do a
I
great
do.
job.
I really appreciate being the story and being able to share it. Yeah, it's a blessing.
Well, we shall follow you, and anytime you want to come on, all you've got to do is give us a call.